Hi, I'm talking today to Naomi Richards. Naomi Richards is a kids coach. Hi, Naomi. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Naomi, let's start off today by talking a little bit about kids coaching. What is a life coach for kids?
Well, it's pretty much the same as a life coach for adults, really. I work with children to help them change their life in some way. It may be a big change or it may be a little change. But essentially, a child is not happy with some part of their life. And what I do is I work with them to talk about their life, ask them what they want to happen, and then together we work at looking at options and ideas of how they can change that situation. It may be that they have to change a thought, or it may be that they actually have to do something, an action.
And what are the benefits of working with a coach? And what ages do you work with?
I work with children from the age of 6 upwards. I think there are quite a few benefits, really. I mean, first of all, I'm providing an area space which is completely confidential. Children can say whatever they want. If they want to have a bit of a moan about mum or dad, if they're annoying them, then that's okay. But I just provide this space where they can open up and talk freely. I think the benefits are that what I'm bringing to the table is I'm bringing creativity to the table. So when a child comes in and says, look, this is what I want to happen, I say, okay, how do we do that? They may only know they only have one idea, but what I do is I bring a wealth of ideas and say, well, we can do this, that, the other, which one would you want to try? And they're like, oh my goodness, there's so much choice of reaching kind of, I suppose, that goal. And I also think the benefits are that, as parents, we don't always have the tools and techniques to help our child within the situation themselves. And we either say to them, this is what you need to do, and it might not be the right thing for the child, or we run out of ideas. And also there's the third thing of not all children have life skills, the life skills to go through life to become resilient adults. And so I will see children, for instance, who want help with decision making. They want to feel confident or motivated, or their parents want them to listen. That's a big one.
And tell me, do you only work with the child, or do you work with the parent at all?
I work with the child, and then what I do is between my sessions, I will go back to the parents and I will say to the parent, look, this is what we've discussed, because together we need to be working together. And there's no point me saying to a child, okay, so when are you going to do this? And they're going to say, I'll do it by then. And okay, what are you going to do? The parent needs to notice that change, and they also need to be able to support them when I'm not there. So it is a confidential arena. I explain to the child, unless they disclose something, which obviously I have to refer on to like social services here, could I have their permission to tell mum or dad what we talked about? And invariably they say yes.
And what are some of the signs that we as parents can look out for that perhaps may indicate that our child needs to come for some coaching?
Some of it could be change of behaviour. We notice our child behaving in a certain way. We ask them about it, and they don't want to talk about it. Well, if they're not going to talk about it with you, they need to talk about it with somebody. And often, for instance, you haven't got aunties around and grandparents around. So, where do you take that? So I think it's first of all noticing behaviour, and yeah, just I suppose noticing change, and it's probably being more observant of your child. When you're watching your child, you think, oh, why aren't they maybe doing that? Maybe they could do with a bit more help. You recognise, like, when your child has low confidence or low self-esteem. When your child comes back from school and they start talking non-stop about, a certain child in the playground and they weren't being particularly nice. You're hearing these things, and I guess it's just about right, okay, you pick up on it and decide to do something about it.
And how is the coaching different from therapy?
Okay, so with coaching, I'm not that interested in what's happened yesterday. What I'm interested in, what's going on for that child today, and what do they want to happen tomorrow. So it's very kind of in the moment. It's very future focused. It's goal orientated, which some therapy isn't goal orientated. And we're always looking at solutions. It's also very interactive. So you may be in a therapy session where the therapist takes a step back and doesn't really say anything, but encourages a conversation along. What I do is I just get straight in there, and I suggest ideas, and I would say to some extent my sessions are quite lively. Whatever subject it is, there's got to be a human side to it as well, really. And I think, especially when you're working with kids, you've got to connect.
Thank you, Naomi. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you, Joanna.